Hello, hello, and welcome back to Mindfully Rich Podcast, your weekly look at life and finances with a twist where we talk about improving your overall relationship with money and building better financial habits. On each episode, I'll discuss real life situations and give y'all practical advice. The point of this podcast is to help you stay in your financial lane so you won't end up broke. I'm the creator and host, Richie. Now, let's jump into today's conversation. What's up, y'all? I'm back. Yes, yes. I already know. I don't want to talk about it. Already know. Don't want to talk about it. But check this out. Check this out, everybody. March, I am so excited about, right? Like, I come here all the time and tell y'all I'm super excited about something. But I promise you, we are talking about one of my favorite financial topics for the entire month of March. So go ahead and jot it down. Get your notifications ready, child, because I have put myself to a test and a goal that I have set that I have got to make because I am trying to prove something to myself. So you're going to be hearing a lot from me in the month of March. Just go ahead, mark your calendars, okay? So thank y'all so much. Got to start with gratitude and tell y'all thank you, thank you, thank you. Just because of y'all, the podcast is doing so good, whether I'm here or not, okay? Like I said, we're not talking about that right now. That ain't what we here for, okay? But the podcast is doing so good. Y'all are continuously listening and also sharing the episodes. And once again, y'all know y'all is marketing, okay, child? One woman team over here, so share this thing far and wide, okay? That's the only way people gonna know about it, okay? You gotta share it, all right? I'm sharing it, but y'all helping me share it. That's gonna get this thing out there, okay? I'm trying to get all the peoples to hear you, girl, okay? I'm trying to be on everybody TV, all the radio shows, just trying to be rich, okay? Not just mindfully rich, rich, all right? That is a goal of mine. And so all has been well on this side for me. Y'all, I have been coming up with so much stuff. Like, I have so many launches that are coming up in the next couple of months. Like, my mind has been about to explode. So because I've been doing so much in regards to like my website, getting some branding things together, I have been busy. And so I haven't been able to do the episodes like I wanted to do in February. I had one more episode that I was going to bring to y'all. I wasn't able to do so. I can't do it now just because it was pertaining to Black History Month. But next Black History Month, child, just go ahead and wait. It's going to be good. I already got it saved up for y'all for then. But March, let me tell you what. I have put together a series that's going to blow y'all mind. It's going to be so educational, so informative. Y'all going to thank me. For real. You gonna share these episodes. You gonna like this, child. You wanna know what? It's always the times that I think that I'm just doing so bomb that it really don't be the bomb. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just shut up and just hope that y'all like it as much as I do, because coming up with this month's episodes for the series was a pleasure for me, and I just can't wait to talk about it. All right, so let me go ahead and get into it. You know what? Let's just go ahead and move into the Let's Talk About Money segment. So for those of y'all who are new to the podcast, this thing been going now for what? This is episode 89, y'all. 89. Y'all been in here. Y'all been in here listening. Okay, and for those of y'all who are new, what I like to do is take I always want to think of a hip hop song, but it's not a hip hop song. But I'll take like a song title and use that as the topic point. Now, for a lot of the deeper topics I've been talking about this year, I haven't had a song to use. But this time, y'all, I found one. I am using Erykah Badu's Didn't You Know? That's my song. Okay, let me just go ahead and stop y'all there. That's my song. And so I'm using Didn't You Know? Credit cards can increase and decrease your credit score series. All right. I made it into a series. And for those of y'all who are new, I love long titles. Okay. I'm long-winded. I like long titles. It's just my thing. Stick around a little bit. You'll get to know me. Okay. So for the Didn't You Know? Credit cards can increase and decrease your credit score series. Today's episode, I want to focus on if you know the difference between paying the minimum payment and the full payment and what it can do to your credit score. So March is National Credit Education Month, and I wanted to make sure that the podcast focused on a credit topic that people could actually use. I've talked about credit before on the podcast, and I've done it in a more, I'm going to say textbook educational way. Like if you go back and listen to some of the older episodes on credit, like it's giving you the stuff that you need, right? So I wanted to talk about something that I've heard a lot of people bring up, especially when it comes to questions about credit cards and how it works with your actual credit score. So I had to go to my friends because being a person, I'm going to say a practitioner of finance in the financial industry for 15 years, like I've been, it's hard for me to come up with stuff to actually talk about because I know it all. And I'm like, when I'm thinking of what's a question that someone who doesn't know about credit would ask, it's harder for me to do so. So I had to go to my friends and say, hey, y'all tell me some stuff that y'all would want to hear about or some things that you wish you knew. And my friends are always going to be, let's say, my subject group before I bring something to the podcast in most cases. Thank God for friends. Okay, child, let me just go ahead and just say that. Thank you to all my friends, child, because, woo, living in a world without friends, I don't even know. I don't even know how people are able to do it. I got so many great friends. Let me just go ahead and just say, just giving thanks to y'all, okay? I thank God for all of y'all because y'all are awesome, okay? Just wanted to say that. But anyways, I went to them to find out some things that could help lead the credit series that I'm doing for the month of March. And so I want to make sure that everybody understands that having healthy credit is necessary, okay? I know that there are a lot of, let's say, financial gurus. I'm not even going to say a lot. There's specifically one who doesn't believe in credit. So I don't even want to throw that a lot word out there, okay? But I want to let y'all know credit is definitely necessary, especially if you're going to be a person who needs to finance certain expenses in your life. Finance meaning you need to take out loans to get certain things in your lifetime, okay? I'm not one who's going to be able to buy a house in cash, child. I'm not buying a car in cash. There's lots of different things that I'm just not doing. So I'm going to have to get a loan for, okay? Like many of y'all, all right? And I'm also going to have credit cards, regardless of what anybody think about them, right? Hopefully, after this series, whatever your thoughts are on credit cards, maybe I'll be done change that. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see what happens, okay? But the one thing that I do want y'all to know is that when you have a healthy credit score, when you're keeping a healthy credit report, it helps you with paying less for your loans. When you pay less, that means having less interest that's charged to you when you have a loan. All right? I want y'all to also focus on knowing that credit is power. You've heard many songs that talk about it. It's a big focus in the world right now. Everybody and their mama tend to just know something about credit right now, child. That's a whole nother story. Okay, but credit is power. And it serves as your face card to not only the lenders, so lenders meaning when you go to apply for loans, but you got employers right now that's checking your credit report, utility companies, phone companies, child, and anybody else who overall needs to see if you didn't pay back the people that you said that you would pay. Okay, meaning when you borrow money from somebody, those people are looking at your credit report because your credit report is tracking your character and how you pay. Do you do what you say you're going to do? All right. So that 3-digit number, whether you care about it or not, is power. And it can improve your life for the good, or it can make your life way harder and less manageable over time. So I just want to go ahead and point that out. So we're going to go ahead and move into the topic at hand. And I want to start with saying whether you're paying the minimum payment or you're paying the full payment, child, just make sure you're paying them payments, child. Okay, let me just tell you this, okay? You got to pay. Because if you don't pay your bills, whether you pay it, once again, if you're paying the minimum payment or if you're paying a full payment, if you don't pay at all, you can decrease your credit score 100 points or more, just depending on what that actual account looks like. Because the reason why I'm saying it depends, because I can't determine what that is. Everybody's credit report is different. So I can't tell you exactly how many points it will go down. I can tell you from experience when it's happened to me, how many points that it went down for myself. All right. And it was almost 100 points. I've seen it go down 90 something points with one missed payment. All right. So it's important to just make sure, number one, your credit cards, they are absolutely on your credit report. And them things need to be paid on time. That's every 30 days. You know when your due dates are. We ain't even finna go and do that. All right. The next thing, when you're paying your minimum payment, you're probably wondering, should I pay the minimum payment? You could. What is it doing for your credit report? Absolutely nothing. Not a thing. You tickling the balance when you pay the minimum payment. What you doing? What's that about? What we paying? 20 some dollars? 30 some dollars? For those of y'all that owe more money, what's that? $200, 300? I don't know what your credit card balance is. I'm just giving you some examples. But when you paying the minimum payment, that's basically interest. You ain't doing nothing but tickling that thing. That's it. All right. So you could pay the minimum payment because that satisfies how much you need to pay in that month. But are you doing anything to the debt itself? Probably not. And it just all depends on how much the actual balance is. So I just want to let you know, you could pay it, but what you're doing to your actual credit score, nothing. You're staying stagnant at that particular time when you're paying just minimum payment because most of the time it's just interest that you're paying. Now, when you pay a full payment, when you make that payment in full, you paying off your debt. Who don't like paying off all their debt? So now you ain't got to worry about it. That means when you pay the balance in full, you don't have any more payments. You don't have to pay anything else until you create another balance and then you're making those payments back or you're paying it off in full again. So there's nothing to worry about. And when you're paying the full balance off, you're increasing your score. And it all depends on what type of balance it is that you have when you create the debt and if that debt is sitting there. And what I mean is the 30% rule. There's a 30% rule that the credit bureaus came up with. It wasn't me. Okay, so don't shoot the messenger. All right. The 30% rule says that if you keep a balance of 30% or more on your credit card in relation to the limit that you have, that your score will go down. Now, I want you to listen to me good. What that means is if you keep a balance of over 30% in relation to your limit over 30 days, because your credit cards, they report to the credit bureaus every 30 days. So if you got $1,000 card, $1,000 limit credit card, and you have more than $300 on that card, let's say you got $350 on there, right? That's more than 30%. And at the end of your whatever your reporting time is or whatever, it's a 30-day period that you have in your credit card cycle, right? So at the end of that cycle, if that balance stays on there, when they report that balance to the credit bureaus, that means that your score is going to go down when it's reported because you're over 30%. So that 30% rule is absolutely something that you need to make sure that you're paying attention to because your credit cards, they have the power to increase your score overall or decrease your score overall. And this is per credit card. So once again, if you have credit cards and if those credit cards are over 30%, in relation to the limit that you have, and I use the example, if you have $1,000 credit card, I'm being real basic here because I want to make sure we getting this. You got $1,000 credit card, that means a balance of over $300. If you got a $10,000 credit card, that means a balance of over $3,000. 20,000, keep adding it up. I didn't do the math for those ones, so I'm not going to go there and play myself right now, but you get what I'm saying. 30% in relation to your limit. If you keep a balance at the end of whatever your 30-day reporting cycle is for that credit card, that will decrease your overall credit score. So when you're paying the full payments, you don't even have to worry about any of that because you have paid it off. Your score is going to naturally increase because you paid off the balance. All right. So I want to make sure that everybody is getting that. Paying off the balance in full is something that a lot of people aspire to. I have a credit card that I do that with now. I have all of my bills budgeted. I'm paying it with a credit card all throughout the month, and then I pay it off at the end of the month. So I don't even report anything. So it's just kind of one of those things that if you want to get in a rhythm of doing something like that, you got to make sure that you're looking at what it is that you are charging on those credit cards and if you're going to be able to pay that off in full. Coming up with that plan. You always need a plan for your money, child. Okay? You just want to make sure that you got a plan. All right? So paying the balance off, does wonders. It will increase your score. Paying the balance is always going to be the preferred method. But check this out. I get it. Everybody not going to be able to pay off their credit cards in full. I don't know what your credit card story is, what you've used your credit cards for. It could have been hell of emergencies that you use your credit card for. It could have been all type of stuff. You could have went through a life stage, and that's the reason why you got credit card debt. There's so many different credit card stories out there as to the reason why you have debt or you have more than 30% in relation to your limit on your actual credit card. Don't worry about it. I got you. Okay? We're going to talk about strategies so that you can pay that thing off. So if you do have more than 30% in relation to your limit sitting on your credit cards right now as the balance, you got to figure out a plan to pay those things off, right? And there are quite a few strategies that can help you. There's the snowball method. There's the avalanche method, and then there's something I like to call the gumbo method. But we're going to go through all three of them, okay? So if you're a person right now, you have credit card debt, I want you to realize, once again, this is not a shaming right now, okay? I have some credit card debt. Lots of people got credit card debt. They won't even tell you that they got it, okay? People have it, right? But this is the thing. We're going to figure out a strategy so we can get that debt paid off. All right, so we can increase our overall credit score so that we can get ourselves ultimately out of debt. All right, so the snowball method involves paying off your smallest credit card as quickly as possible. So what you would do is you would come up with a plan of when you want to pay off your smallest credit card balance. So say you decide, I want to pay this thing off in 6 months. So you take the balance, you divide it by 6, you paying that off. So you're paying whatever that payment was that you divided by 6, your balance divided by the months you want to pay it off in. You're paying that payment on that for that amount of time, whatever those months are. And then after you pay it off, you go to your next smallest credit card balance. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, so if I'm paying all that money on the smallest credit card balance, what am I paying towards the other credit cards if I have other credit card balances and I'm in debt on other credit cards? You're paying the minimum payment on all of those other ones. Okay, so once again, the snowball method is taking the smallest balance credit card and you're finding a way to pay that one off as soon as possible. So I gave the example of if you determine I want to take my smallest credit card balance and pay that off in 6 months, you take the balance divided by 6 and then you make those payments on that credit card each month for 6 months. Then after that, you move to the next smallest one. You make the determination. When do I want to have this paid off? Divided by those amount of months. Make those payments, minimum payments to everything else. And that's how that works. Go ahead and rewind this if you didn't hear or understood what I just said. All right. The next method is the avalanche method. All right. So this involves paying off the credit card with the highest interest rate first, then making minimum payments to the other credit cards. So just like the snowball method, you're going to take the credit card with the highest interest. Let's say you want to pay this card off in 10 months. You divide that balance by 10. You make those payments for 10 months. Then you move on to the next credit card that has the highest interest rate doing the same thing, right? So you got the snowball method, you got the avalanche method, and then I just like to call this the gumbo method, right? That's kind of just taking both of these theories and just using it. Which credit card do you want to pay off first? You can have whatever rhyme or reason it is, right? Just as long as you know what credit card balances need to be paid. So having it jotted down, I have this amount of debt. These are the credit cards. This is the amount of debt that they're in. Which credit card do I want to pay off first? And then figuring out a way, all right, let me divide it by 12 months. That's a year, right? But say you overzealous and you like, you know what? I could do it in 6 months. So you're dividing whichever credit card you decide you want to pay off, regardless of whatever the rhyme or reason is, dividing it by the months that you want to have that thing paid off in. So 12 months, that's a year, right? If you decide 2 years, that's 24 months. I just want to make sure that I'm giving you some examples. So gumbo is just basically just mixing those two theories together and no rhyme or reason, figuring out which credit card I want to pay off. And then you come up with that strategy of, all right, how many months do I want to have this paid off in? Dividing that balance by that, making those payments. And once again, while you're making those payments on whichever the card that you select, to pay off first. You're making minimum payments to everything else because you don't want to put yourself out. All right. That's what you don't want to do. You still got other bills to pay. You got other necessities, other expenses. I'm pretty sure. All right. So if y'all need to come back and listen to this, that's the reason why it's a podcast. You can go ahead and rewind, listen to it again at your convenience. Okay. So those are some strategies to help you get debts paid off if you're one of those people, if you have some credit card debt. And once again, not knocking anybody because it happens. But I wanted to make sure that I'm being a part of the solution, which is helping you with strategies to pay that off. Okay? Now, the one thing that I do want to remind y'all of, especially for my people who are in debt, I understand how it's so easy when you're in debt that you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know who can help me. And then you want to throw some money at the problem. So you want to throw some money, meaning having people assist you with it, right? So if you decide I can't do this on my own, that is fine. There are lots of people who need assistance, who need coaching, who need those things, right? The thing that I want to tell you is make sure that you are not going to these debt consolidation companies, child, these debt settlement companies. That's what they call debt settlement companies. No, that's a no. I did a whole episode on this. You're going to have to go back to it. It's a no for the debt settlement companies because you could do anything that the debt settlement company can do yourself. So if you do need, say, credit counseling, you want to make sure that you look for a nonprofit organization that offers credit counseling to go to. All right? It's going to be in your best interest. I promise. Nonprofit agencies. All right? Now, if you're looking for any other type of coaching, go and check out IamMindfullyRich.com and you can see my credit goal coaching sessions and what that looks like. I just want to make sure that I am providing y'all with options, solutions to help you, giving you the resources that you need, especially being a financial podcast that's focused around money and finance. I want to make sure that I'm giving you solutions and make sure that I'm giving you resources that you can take advantage of to help you. Okay. And we're talking about credit. So I wanted to make sure that I'm providing you with some credit resources. And that brings me to another point. Now, while listening to my podcast, of course, it's dope, straightforward. I know that's what I be doing, right? I would encourage y'all to check out Experience website just because I like Experian. Experian is like one of my favorite credit bureaus. Like when I was an underwriter, I love looking at Experience credit bureaus just because it's so straightforward. I just like it. All right. So I would encourage you to check out their website. They are one of the 3 major credit bureaus. So you're getting information from the source, especially just in case y'all don't believe me, child. Let me tell you what. Ooh, it'd be so hard to prove credit stuff to some people sometimes, but that's another story. I'm going to have a story time one day. Okay. I'll be butthurt about that, but it's okay. But check out Experience website. They are one of the 3 major credit reporting agencies. They have a lot of credit education on their site. I like to even look over there just to verify what I'm saying is true. Okay, so make sure you check it out. Now, child, this done been a long episode, but it was long and worth it. So I hope that you will share this episode far and wide. Tag me. I'm on Instagram at mindfully_rich_podcast. Yes, I'm getting back on the page. I know I ain't been on there in a whole month, y'all. I know, bad. But still tag me because I want to share it. All right. I'm getting back on there because once again, March is going to have a lot of content, y'all. I am going to content you down with some credit stuff. So just go ahead and be ready. I am making up for lost time. All right. So I want to thank each of y'all for listening. I really appreciate y'all for being here. Once again, if you're not subscribed on whatever platform you're listening to the podcast on, make sure you subscribe, have your notifications on when the episodes drop because, child, I got lots of episodes that are going to be dropping this month. Lots of tips, some bonuses, all type of stuff. So the episode done been long enough. Y'all done heard me talk long enough. Y'all go ahead and live life mindfully, intentionally, and on purpose. And until next time, when I hit y'all with another one.